I want to get a picture of this no refueling. I'm just down, I guess I would be west of where they were servicing the machines on the planking. But you can see back in the background, there's another set of wetlands they went through where there's more planking. And further on down is where they're hauling all this mulch. So let me pause this and I'm gonna walk on down. Let me spin around. This is a dog walk area where the residents in here, they're all 55 plus. That's their community center over there. And this is their activity center where they got shuffleboard and horseshoes. And we're probably maybe 50 feet from where all this dust is. You know, let me see if I can get I can't really get a view from there. But there's people over there playing shuffleboard on a Saturday morning, dealing with dust. You know, there's people over there playing shuffleboard, having fun on a Saturday morning, dealing with the dust, as well as the gentleman walking the dog. I don't know if I can get this. Let's see if I can get it where you can see the particulates on the water. It's kind of hard because it's shady. Let me walk down this edge and see. Because there's a nice little streamer of particulates all out in the water. And that's what dust does to the water. And there's a nice one. And it follows along. And this is all from that dust. You know, and this is probably around 50, 60 feet from their pipeline trail, which actually this is the Florida Southeastern Connection pipeline that connects to the Sabal Trail pipeline up at the compressor station, which is only about 4 or 5 miles away. But you can see the trail all along here, and it's where it settles over towards the edge because the wind blows it over here towards the edge. So if a dog comes up here, or any animal for that matter, comes up here and drinks water, where do they drink water from? The edge. And this is what they'll be drinking. And you know, these 55 plus people, they all have pets. It keeps them company. Hopefully they don't let them down here drinking any of this water, because it's all along the edge. You know, it's shameful that they did this right here, and they could have stayed along that existing easement, but they decided to go around the gated communities. So now this is wetland number, let me see if I can get over there and see the sign. You know, it's right in there in the trees. It's wetland number 45, and that's the exit of the wetland. You can see the planking in the back. And you can see the stand. You know, I mean, this drops off 3 or 4 feet, so this is actually wetland here. And to prove it, that's a little cypress tree right there. And you can see the stand of cypress trees over there at the edge of their, you know, there's the white stake that shows their work zone. They left the stand of cypress trees there, but everything in between they took down. And you can see all the little nubs sticking up and some of the limbs that were left behind. So they just took out the cypress trees. There's a little stump that was pulled out. Wetland delineation. Yeah. Well, I guess that just means come in and destroy everything that filters our water. And that's something with this community. I can only imagine there's probably 200 homes in here, if actually probably more than that. But they have what they call a community well. So every house in this place is fed from one well. It's not city maintained, it's maintained by the park. And I'm not saying they don't maintain it right. The point is, all of these people drink from basically a private well. And there's more of the stumps that they came in and just wiped out. I mean, this was in a video, I didn't get this part of it, but where I woke up on a Sunday morning and they were behind my house, just wiping it out. And I guarantee you, because these are cypress trees on the property that I'm standing on, and they just cut a path right through them. And you can see the little stumps out there. I mean, they took out a bunch of cypress trees. And I thought it was illegal to cut down cypress trees because they figured out how important they are. You know, they used to make clocks out of them, but they stopped that because cypress trees act as a filter. So let me pause this and see if I can get down a little further, saving my battery. There's a good sized cypress tree they took out. There's an even bigger one they took out. There's a couple more right there that are good sized cypress trees, you know, the ones out there by the planking. It's really hard to tell how big they were, but there was a number of small ones and a number of, you know, decent sized ones that stand about 35, 40 foot in the air. The destruction of our filter. And it's not just our filter because we live here. It's the filter that ends up filtering the water that goes into the aquifer. It's all connected. You know, you got surface water, which would be this lake, or the water that stands in the wetlands, and then it becomes groundwater, and it permeates and leaches on through the ground, being filtered on its way to become aquifer water. And most of the wells in unincorporated Polk County don't go to the aquifer, they just go down into the wetlands, or into the groundwater, I mean. So that's why I say it's our water. And see, people used to sit out here and enjoy the view of the wetlands. You know, there's no fence back here, but they've decided now to put up snowflake fencing to tell these people to keep out, you know. And these people were unaware that this was coming right here. And this is their backyard. Bottom line, it's Florida forever, you know. And they just went mucking through there with their equipment, doing whatever it is they want. There's another one of their boundary stakes right there. And a lot of these homes are for the winter visitors that come in. I bet you they're going to be surprised when they get back, because look at this one, you know, you can tell they've just dressed the place up, got their picnic table and their barbecue. They probably hang their clothes on a solar dryer like back in the day, you know, saving energy, reducing pollution. And I bet you they can't enjoy that now. There's another barbecue grill where people used to sit out, the swing. You know, these people used to be able to enjoy this. But now, this is what they get to enjoy. Snowflake fencing. Wetland number 45. Let me see if I can capture this. He's coming back. And the trash they dig out, they just pile up over there for everybody to view. And this is what they hear. You see now the wind's changed direction, where it's coming right through and headed right for their homes, right for their back porches. You think these drivers care? You think the pipeline cares? Nope, now the wind just changed the other direction. It's blowing it back the other way. That's how particulates can travel for thousands of miles on the wind. Just depends on which way it's blowing. And look at the dust coming from that pile of mulch. Their work zone. And God only knows what that really is over there, where it came from. It's an old roof that probably got blown in there during one of our storms, and nobody bothered to pick it up. But you can tell people used to sit back here and enjoy their backyards. You know, they didn't plant this back here not to look at it. You know, you got a little knoll garden, a little queen frog, little deer. And it's beautiful. And that's so they can view it from their backyards. But this is what they get now. And you see all that open space out there that they could have gone through. You know, they could have taken this a lot further away from here, but yeah, they'd have had to buy some big corporation's property. Holy smokes, man. You gotta be kidding me, man. Right here at these people's backyard. You have got to be kidding me. I mean, I'm sitting on their steps, and this is their view. Luckily for me, right now, the wind's kind of blowing away from me, but this is their view from their back deck. You know, they got a nice little deck with a barbecue grill that they can't even use anymore. This is the noises, and I'll guarantee you they're going to be here again tomorrow on a Sunday. And I know most of these people that live here are church-going people. And just look how close it is to their backyard. You know, I'm back up at 1792, and holy smokes, there's a house over there stuck in the mulch pile right next to their work zone. Now I feel for these people. God, I thought I was close. You know, I'm sitting here leaning up against a person's back deck. And there's no protection from the dust. I mean, shit, they took down all the trees that would have protected us from the dust. You can hear him coming. As the dust continues, man, right here at their back porches. And another truck backs in to be filled with what was once clean air producing trees. And look at this. Wow. And I don't know if they're supposed to be staying on that planking or not, but they definitely are not. I would think they put the planking there for them to stay on, but no, we wouldn't want to do that. I feel sorry for that guy standing on the ground waving him in. He ain't got a dust mask on either. Maybe that's why he's got a big beard. And all these trees are basically coming from my neighbors' backyards and on down the trail. So they've undoubtedly moved a mulching machine, you know, a portable mulching machine back there in the back somewhere. I'm going to try to get back there sometime today, but I got some work I got to get done too. And up there where you can see the stop sign, that is 1792, and there's another truck going to be waiting to get loaded. So they're trying to move this mulch out of here just as fast as they can, and I have a feeling it's because they've cut down trees they don't have permits to cut down. Pretty horrifying noises. They got semi after semi coming in. And this is the front yard of the yard I was just where that track goes sitting there loading mulch. And I mean, these people enjoy their yards. They have beautified them. I mean, and they have the right to be able to come out in this yard and enjoy without breathing dust and particulates from a mine. Right here. There you go. Track hoe. 20 feet in the air, 15 feet at least in the air, loading the mulch, and there's their front yard. You know, I mean, and these people don't have the money to fight back. You know, they're 55 plus. You know, they're retired. You know, I love all the American flags that are in here, and we have the right to breathe clean air. That's what that flag represents, our Constitution and our rights as people. But this is what we get. Track hoe in our backyard, dusting us to death. This is just 2 doors down. There's where I was. I come down 1, 2. This is the 3rd house, and this is what they get to see from their backyard. Another big track hoe. And I have a feeling he has this big fan here trying to keep the dust away, because you can see part of the pile of mulch right behind him. And they didn't do anything to protect these people.